been a hot week, but a good week for Arkansas. From Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada, where I'm attending a meeting of the Energy Council, this is Speaker of the House, Robbie Wills. I'm at the Energy Council meeting in Saskatoon, Canada this week, and it's been interesting so far. We have heard a keynote address by Michael Kurgan, former Canadian ambassador to the United States and now a private sector consultant on energy issues. He pointed out that 9/11 caused North America to look at ourselves and each other in a new and different way. He said that some in the U.S. viewed our neighbors more as a security liability than an economic asset. He said that the absence of terrorist attacks on the U.S. homeland in the last 8 years, a new administration in Washington, and the severe economic recession may return the North American dynamic to a more familiar place, which is debating trade, energy, and environmental issues. We also sat through a session on carbon sequestration led by Floyd Wist, who's with the Ministry of Energy and Resources for the province of Saskatchewan. He says that carbon dioxide capture and storage is a key strategic element of Saskatchewan's plans to reduce greenhouse gas emissions from its coal-fired electricity generation stations. He says there's an opportunity for an economic and environmental win-win situation by achieving large-scale industrial-scale reductions in greenhouse gas emissions at relatively low cost, while simultaneously providing carbon dioxide for enhanced oil recovery, which can generate significant economic benefits. He predicts that in subsequent years, after carbon dioxide capture costs are reduced, it will be less costly to dispose of carbon dioxide in deeply buried saline aquifers. Saskatchewan is pursuing several carbon dioxide capture and storage initiatives, including the Saline Aquifer Initiative. Back in Arkansas, when Congress this week approved a supplemental spending bill for the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, it also approved a measure that will make Arkansas competitive again in the bond market. Arkansas has a long history of issuing bonds. The state has done it for highways and sewer and water projects. Local governments have done it for schools and for hospitals. And investors in Arkansas bonds have made profits. But the slowing economy and the Arkansas constitutional cap on interest rates have taken Arkansas out of the bond market. In Arkansas, we tend to issue two types of bonds: general obligation bonds, which are paid off with sales taxes, and special revenue bonds, which are paid off with a dedicated stream of money, such as water usage fees. The Arkansas Constitution caps the interest rate on general obligation bonds at 2 percentage points above the federal discount rate. The rate on special revenue bonds is limited to 5 percentage points. With the federal discount rate set at 0.05% since December, investors in Arkansas bonds are limited to 2.5% on general obligation bonds and 5.5% on special revenue bonds. That's not enough to entice investors, and it's not enough to enable our communities from issuing bonds for some very important projects. An amendment by Senator Blanche Lincoln eliminates those interest rate caps, and Arkansas will be better for it. It will also better enable the state to participate in the Build America Bonds program, a part of the federal economic stimulus package. The program encourages investment in our infrastructure and will create jobs. The federal government will pick up 35% of the interest owed by governmental bodies when they float bond issues for various projects, or the bond issuer can offer investors up to a 35% tax credit for the bonds. This has been your weekly webcast. We'll see you next time. This is Speaker of the House, Robbie Wills.